Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Whatever Works podcast. I'm so busy that I'm just gonna straight up jump into this topic because I don't have the time for like a chit chat, which I love chit chatting and I love like talking about my week and stuff, but I can't. I have so much to do. I have to record this, edit this, upload it all today, and it's like almost 7 p.m. I also have to learn how to present the presentation that I have tomorrow. And anyway, I'm chit chatting literally. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about the feeling of wanting to be wanted by someone. Just wanting to be wanted by someone romantically, I guess, and feeling worthless because no one likes you and no one finds you pretty and etc. And I know that this might sound really really silly because to some people it doesn't matter if someone likes them and if someone has a crush on them, but to me it mattered a lot. 6 months ago, okay? And I can proudly say that I finally gotten over this feeling and I feel very free from it. But that doesn't mean that I still felt that way those 6 months ago. I think I felt that way for maybe 8 months and it ate me alive, that feeling. I would come home and every other night I would cry about it, okay? I even wrote, this is gonna sound very, very silly, and I'm kind of embarrassing myself, and we're not even 2 minutes in, but I'm gonna read you a little note that I made on my phone. I have it on my laptop pulled up. Now that I'm looking at it, it's really embarrassing, but if anyone else can relate to this feeling and I can help them, then it makes it all worth it, honestly, because I felt so miserable, okay? So I'm just gonna read you the note, and hopefully it explains how I was feeling, and I'm gonna give a little bit more context. I think I have this video planned out for like 3 parts. The first one being like how I felt, how that feeling felt to me, why I think I felt that way, and then advice, because I did get over it and I do think it's possible for everyone. And yeah, so I'm just gonna read you it, okay? A little warning, it's super embarrassing and I'm definitely gonna cringe when I'm gonna be editing this. So I feel so horrible. Only one guy has told me that I was pretty and liked me. I hate that everyone is liked by someone. No one likes me that way. I hate that no boy wants me. I feel so worthless. I hate this feeling. I want someone to like me. I want to be someone's girlfriend. I want to have a crush on someone because I've never had one. I feel so stupid. Why can't anyone have a crush on me, find me pretty? I hate having social anxiety because I don't talk to guys. So obviously, no one will like me that way. But why does no one find me pretty? I just want to, I don't know. I know that note is a little bit like it's ended in a funny way because what do you mean? Like what do you want? I don't know. It's so silly, but hopefully that kind of shows how I was feeling. I felt very worthless, as I said. I really craved that validation from another person to tell me that I was pretty, and it wasn't from like girls, because girls have told me that I was pretty before and have complimented me before, which I'm very lucky to have in my life. Obviously, it was more validation from guys because I never got that, but that's a part for the second part of the video where I'm going to be talking about why I think that felt that way. But in general, I felt very lost, okay? I didn't know what to do because I would come home every other night, and not like come home every other night, but like I would come home and every other night I would cry until my head hurt so bad because I didn't know what to do. I was very sick of the waiting, because usually when you talk about like, oh god, I just really want a boyfriend, I want someone to like me, I want someone to have a crush on me, most people say, it's fine, your time will come, just wait. But like the waiting is never ending, and I know how frustrating that is, and I'm not gonna tell you just wait, okay? Because I still haven't gotten to the part where a guy likes me and I'm in a relationship where I like the guy back, okay? Because I've been in a relationship and I don't even, it was technically a relationship, yes, it was called a relationship, but now that I'm looking back on it, I did not like the guy ever. And as I said in the note, I don't think I've ever had a crush on a guy, but for context, it was like 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and I went for like a summer camp in Ireland with my best friend, and there I met this guy, and he was like the first guy that has ever told me that I was pretty and that liked me. And then we just talked a lot, and we had like a full-on long distance relationship, and we talked for days, but it lasted like 3 weeks. And I was like planning on breaking up with him, but I didn't know how to do it. So I was just like waiting and waiting and waiting, because I didn't want to do it over text because that's rude, and I didn't want to do it over the phone because that's scary. And then he just ended up breaking up with me, which I was really relieved by, because I didn't know the way I wanted to do it. Anyways, so as much as I didn't like the guy, it felt so validating for someone to find me attractive and pretty and interesting, if that makes sense. But now that it's 2 years later, there hasn't been another guy that has liked me. It obviously became very frustrating for me, and I genuinely had huge crash outs because of this. I would be so mad at myself even for thinking about it, because I am the last person to be boy crazy, And the worst part of it all was that I wasn't mad at anyone specifically. I was just mad that no one liked me in general, Because sometimes you might feel like, oh God, I like this person, but they don't like me back, and you're mad at the person specifically. But I was just mad at the world for not getting me a guy that likes me, As I already said, I can proudly say that I've gotten over this feeling. And yes, I still think about like, oh, I kind of, maybe want a boyfriend in the future. Obviously, maybe, I don't know, well, we'll see, but I don't really care about that right now. But I'm mostly free of the feeling, Now, to talk about a little bit more why I think I felt that way, because I think one of the best ways to solve a problem, which obviously I will be talking about more later, but I do think one of the best ways to solve a problem is to find what is causing it. Even if it's a very deeply rooted cause, what is causing the problem and what is making you feel this way? So, obviously, when I was feeling that way, I did some digging in my brain, and I really thought about how my life just, played out in my life. I don't know what I'm saying. It's really, really late, and I did wake up really early today. So even though I didn't have to, I just could not sleep. Anyways, so I came to the conclusion that all my life, in preschool, in middle school, even now in high school, I am surrounded by so many friends, so many people in general that have people that have crushes on them and find them pretty and interesting and worth to talk to, that it made me go so insane, because I wasn't, And again, it's a silly now that I look back on it, but I don't want to not validate my feelings, because I think every single feeling that you're feeling is valid, and you shouldn't not give yourself credit for feeling that way. Not credit. I don't know. It's so late. I'm so tired. So I think that's one thing, is that people all around me have like admirers all the time. My sister, who is 2 years younger than me, had like 6 guys tell her that they like her in the span of 4 months, okay? Which in my mind was like, wow, that's insane. And she rejected them all, which is very girl boss of her, I can't lie. But I think the other thing, which I don't want to call out anyone specifically, because like this isn't a problem from their side, it's more I was bothered by it and I shouldn't have been bothered by it and I hate it. But I was surrounded by a lot of people who were dealing with like love life problems. Again, I'm not talking about one person specifically, I'm talking about like multiple people. And I was just reminded, not on the daily basis, but like very often, of like just love in general. And when I knew like, oh, I don't have that in my life and I don't know if I'm ever gonna have it, it was very tough for me to think about it and help other people with it, So I identified those 2 reasons, and I told myself, okay, well, that's normal. And then I think I went into the stage of healing from that, which now I'm gonna get into the advice part. So because I can talk about my feelings as genuinely for days, and I just really want to help someone feel better, so that's why I'm gonna get into the advice part as quickly as I can, okay? So here's what you should do. Here's what I did and what worked for me, and I didn't even realize it worked for me after the fact. So after I identified why I felt the way I felt and why I was so bothered by this feeling and that it was haunting me and etc., I let myself feel it fully. I didn't hold back, okay? I cried about it, as I already said. I cried about it so much. I let myself complain it. I was obviously very mad at myself, but I let myself complain and I let myself be mad at myself. And I felt everything so, so deeply to the point of mental exhaustion, which obviously isn't the best, but I do have to say that I think it is one of the quickest and fastest ways to get over something, is to just let yourself feel it so deeply to the point of mental exhaustion, because then you'll get to that point of just feeling everything so deeply where you'll be okay, I don't think I feel anything anymore because I let myself believe in this feeling that I have. And in order to do this, you really need to identify the feeling very specifically. That's why I think that finding the root the root cause of the problem is super important, because that's when you can kind of also piece the puzzle pieces together. What am I talking about? I don't have to. It is so late that I don't even know if I said the right thing. If I didn't, please ignore it. In my last podcast episode, I did that, and then I was like so embarrassed. I said something very stupid a lot of times, and then I was too tired to edit it out. Anyways, so identify the root cause, identify the feeling, and let yourself feel it completely, genuinely, without holding back. And don't be embarrassed to feel the feeling, because back then I wasn't embarrassed. Honestly, right now I'm a little bit embarrassed for myself because I'm talking about it so openly. But when you're in that moment, feel it so many times to the point where you won't be embarrassed. Talk about it with someone if that helps you. If it doesn't, then you don't have to, but if it does, then please do. And then once you let yourself get even like lost in the feeling, you could say, you will slowly start to realize that your brain is letting go of all of it. Again, this is just how it was for me. And I am not saying that this will be a very short process for me. It took, as I said, like almost a year even. And it was a very, very long process. And I didn't even realize that I got over the feeling post getting over the feeling. Seriously. I hardly even realized until I was thinking about, okay, what can I do this podcast on today? And then I went back into my notes and I was like, okay, this is the thing that I was dealing with, but now I don't think about it anymore, even almost at all. So yeah, obviously I feel like I can talk about this a lot more. Definitely. I'm just really, really tired, and I'll for sure be making a part 2 to this, because again, I don't think I've covered this enough. But if you are feeling this way, please remember that your time will come. And as much as I do hate when people say that, like, oh, just wait, your time will come, there will be a guy that likes you, or a girl, or whoever you want to like you, that time will come. Because if you want something so badly, that means it's already in your future. Okay, I'm a strong believer in that. I'm a strong believer in a lot of things, and that is one of them, is that if you want something really, really bad, that means that you already have it in your future. So as much as I hate saying that, like, oh, your time will come, it will come. And because you're feeling so many emotions, it's normal as a teenager, it, just because of the hormones, because of the pressure we have on us, and because we are mostly surrounded by people who are in relationships. So not being on one might feel a little bit weird. Your parents probably are in a relationship. I'm saying probably because some are divorced, some are single mothers, single fathers, like whatever. Okay, but you get the point. You're surrounded by relationships all the time and feel that yearning for love is completely normal. And I hope I could help a little bit. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Anyways, I love you. I'm gonna go. This was super rushed and super quick, but hopefully it's okay. I love you.